aside from my camera being wildly out of focus again for no discernible reason. And then I just gotta refresh the I gotta refresh these real quick because I accidentally opened this without having this other thing open. But hi everybody, happy Friday. I hope the day was restful and productive for y'all. Pardon me for being late. I had to do a thing that was like shoot lancer related. And making sure that it was taken care of was kind of important. It would have been faster if I'd realized that I hadn't forgotten to include the build templates for the actual thing. So, haha, hee, but it's handled. So, since I'm late, I'm going to I'm gonna keep us yapping while I also transition us over into playing game. All good. Game dev is important. Thank you for understanding. I appreciate it. Let me just very slightly turn down this lovely person that I am listening to on the other side, and then let's get to it. So yeah, so we'll probably go at least an hour tonight, maybe an hour and a half. I have some other. I got to work from home today, but there are some other kind of like relaxing things and like other like time to myself things I would like to do that I just put off while I was poking around with shoot lancer stuff and some other work stuff I had to get done. So we'll go maybe like an hour and change. See how things go. But yeah, so while the game is loading, I will, like I said, yap and talk about the PlayStation State of Play. Speaking personally, I am very excited about it. Hey, Kettle. So yeah, personally speaking, in terms of like what I'm really the most excited about from the State of Play, I know AAA gaming is kind of like a mess right now. If Ubisoft wasn't Ubisofting, I would be much more excited about the. If Ubisoft wasn't doing Ubisoft things, I would be much more excited about the Rayman collection. Mostly because it is very rare that you actually get to like see. I did say hi to Kettle, right? If I didn't, hi Kettle, hi Stephanie. In case I didn't say to either of you, and hello to anybody lurking. But yeah, it's very rare to get to see like actual production material from. It's rare to get to see production material. Oh, huh. Oh, Capcom Cup Fighting Pass. Okay. But yeah, basically, if we hadn't been in a situation where Ubisoft was, you know, Ubisofting, then oh, Ken's a Valentine. Ken is Valentine's baby, huh? But yeah, like I right, that's the thing I was saying. Especially with the Rayman thing, you don't get to really see unless like somebody releases like an art of game or whatever. You don't often get to see a lot of like what goes into making of a game, right? And so I think from a personal perspective that like actually having materials from Ubisoft that does also stuff. That you get to see like a company put out, unless you get like the art of book or whatever. It's very rare to see a company like bundle nowadays like their actual concept art with other things, right? Excited for Tokon now, which is something I never thought I'd say. Yeah, I don't know if I'll pick it up because I know that it isn't like a tag fighter in the strictest sense of the word, but I don't like dislike. I like the concept of Tokon, but I admit that as far as like Arxis fighters, my attention is right now. Strife 2.0 has the vast majority of my attention. My mixed feelings about Riot aside, I'm in an especially frustrated spot with 2xKO now because they finally added a character that actually would make me really, really hyped to play it, but then they also laid off 80 people from that team. So it's like, well, okay, thanks, y'all. I guess you thought you were going to try to capture back some of that goodwill that you just squandered, but it's just a waste. So annoyed. Still annoyed about that. Literally more fighting game talent, more people that have forgotten more about fighting games collectively. And because it didn't make Riot a bajillion dollars immediately, and because of how long the development was, probably, I'm really only spitballing, I don't know for sure, but I imagine that those two factors are the primary reason why Riot was like, nah, forget it, we're done. Peak dipshit behavior. Extremely aggravating. And I guess I will admit and be honest in saying that
Intercept preparations. Complete.
I take it a little personally because I try not to be weird and parasocial about this. But a lot of the fighting game philosophy stuff that I kind of developed in the last couple of years, a lot of that has been developed because I've been reading a lot of work from Patrick Miller, Pat the Flip, who was one of the people that was working on 2xKO, right? Until they let him go in those cuts. So I admit that a large part of it is very personal in that sense because while I have spoken to him at least in passing before, again, like I don't know him like that. So again, I'm trying not to be like parasocial about it. A lot of kind of like the things that y'all have lauded me for previously, where you're like, oh yeah, you know, it's really cool that like SJ is really like calm and supportive about this thing and XYZ, right? And like the way he talks about fighting games is very nuanced and etc. A lot of that came from principles that I picked up from stuff that I've read from Pat Miller, right? And so, yeah, like I said, I'm trying not to be like weirdly parasocial about it, but it feels personal for me in that particular way, especially because like, yeah, amongst all the other people who also like, you know, lost jobs there, someone who I've at least respected in both like a personal and professional capacity got absolutely fucking shafted, right? Because, you know, execs are so absurdly greedy that they really and truly can't like conceive of the idea that a game needs like actual time and support after launch in order to kind of like find its feet. Fighting games especially are in that position, right? Like a fighting game doesn't really, like, a fighting game becomes more of what it is the longer that it has a chance to run. And it's not even that like, oh yeah, 2xKO is being like delisted or any, or like being taken, or like being like shut down or whatever. But given that they cut back so much of the team, right, that does have like a direct impact on how much like actual, how quickly they'll be able to like use new content, like new characters and things like that, right? Those things are directly related. Oops. Get that. No, I need to be careful. Ooh, dead. Some happier news. I've found my spark. Try to get an item story. Oh yeah, I saw that they released. I have to look up what the specific word means, but I saw that they released their prompts. They used specific Japanese word that I'm not immediately familiar with to sort of describe the prompts that they want for the summer. That's good. Yeah, Black Kisho Tenkets. Yeah. I looked it up and realized, yes, this is it. What is it? As you can see, I understand how to pronounce it, but I'm not quite sure what it means. Like, I know of a specific meaning for Tenketsu, but I don't know if it's the or Tenketsu, but I don't know if it's the same as the one that's intended here, because much as I love Naruto, you know, cannot rely on anime to always narrative shut. Oh! Ah! Oh! The Joe Haku thing. Okay. Yeah, okay. It took me a minute to catch that, but once you said it, I was like, wait. I feel like... Ah, I missed the standing light kick. Yeah. You wanna know the secret, Kettle? About the hero's journey and why it fucks you up? I can tell you, you're not gonna like it. I'll tell you. You probably already knew, but on the off chance that you didn't, may be helpful for helping you understand why, it's because the hero's journey is for white people. Based on white people's stories and white people's story structure. That's what it is. Like, it poses a very, like, it is people, like, especially in certain aspects, like, people are sort of, like, imposing the structure of a primarily, like, Anglo-centric storytelling structure in spots where it does not necessarily, it's not a one-to-one, right? There are aspects of it that might seem the same, but yeah, no, it's like, it's because it's white people shit. It's really what it is.
Cammy wins.
It's literally because it's white. It's because it's white people shit. Like, that's why. Because when you think about certain things in the framework, especially when you cleave too tightly to it, like, it's one of those things where, like, yeah. But yeah, Kisho Tenketsu. Let me double check, because I'm pretty sure that if it is what I think it is based off of Kisho Tenketsu. Yeah, 4-part structure.
Beginning operation.
Yeah. Yeah, it looks familiar. From, like, me looking at it for like half a second, it looks familiar. Yeah, there. So back in the corner. I think it's no. Yeah. I have to be a little bit more circumspect here. Because the main thing with Elena in particular is that because of the length of Elena's limbs, it is very easy for her to kind of like it's very easy for her to sort of like enforce it's very easy for Elena to sort of like enforce certain positioning strategies for herself because of how long her limbs are. Even though she moves a little bit more slowly, she also like specializes, as you see in like y'all have seen it when I play her, right? Like a lot of the time that I have success is mostly in like agitating people from right outside of their range. Wait, no, I should keep pressing. what pants is Elena wearing. They look great on her. I do not know what they are called. I would tell you, but it looks more like they're sort of like a pair of overalls that go along with the rest of the outfit that she's wearing. Oop, my fault. Lino horn. Oop, no scratch wheel that time. Alright. Yeah. Kind of looks like, sorta. But based on what she's wearing, yeah, they're more like a big pair of overalls over the top that she's wearing. Ooh. Hey Dora, how you doing? Oh, bad call, but no, fuck! I might be dead now. I might be dead. We have to see, because they didn't get like drive rushes and stuff in, so. Nope, I should be dead. Yeah, I got a little jumpy. That was too low. So, it's sort of on me for not. But yeah, hopefully, yeah, I'm doing fine, Dorhine. Thank you for asking. Honestly, with that Elena, if I'd been pushing my advantage a little bit more, because they weren't. I did OD scratch wheel like once in that entire match.
Here comes a new challenger.
I really could have just kicked her in her throat. That was a modern cammy. Okay.
Beginning operation.
Round one. Fight.
There. Need to stop jumping. That's close. Okay. No. Yes. So the thing about this cammy is not that they don't know how to play explicitly, but they are doing a thing that. Okay. Like, they've got a game plan, very clearly, right? But it's one of those things where, like. No. I got too close and got no. That happens. Okay, that's really all it is. Alright. Nah. If I keep my shit together, I have this basically. If though. Stop it. That's literally all they're doing. Off. Dipshit. A macaw? Maybe. Not the mime in the back. Yeah, mimes do be miming. Anyway, I don't know if they'll run it back. Okay, they're gonna run it back. Anyway, this cammy's kind of an embarrassment. And this is why the reason why I say they're an embarrassment is because basically, literally, they're doing the thing with cammy that stops working against most players who have played this game long enough, which is, especially as like a modern cammy player, like trying to basically fish for like, oh yeah, I'm gonna do law funny plus shit, and then like press OD cannon spike at OD cannon spike after it because you're probably not paying attention. Like that shit doesn't work. Be like that. Like stop. Why are you doing that? I walked too close trying to shimmy. Oh, get the fuck out of here. Clown shit. Weak. Like, the reason why I'm that spiteful about it in this particular case is that, like, it's not that the cammy player doesn't understand how to play it, right? It has nothing to do with the fact that they're using modern. The problem is that they're crutching out too much on things like, I'm gonna do a perfectly spaced spiral arrow, and then do, like, OD cannon spike afterward when they try to press a button. Or, like, yeah, I'm gonna hit with heavy spin knuckle, and then I'm gonna use OD cannon spike afterward when they try to hit a button. And like, it doesn't work against other cammy players who have been playing the game long enough once they catch on to the fact that that's what you're doing. Like, you notice that like past a certain point, yeah, I bot relooted, I need to play it, but that's good news. I'm happy to hear that. I want to play Relooted and tell dad what it's like, because he was like, "Hey, Sean, have you heard of this game?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I have." He asked me about that like a couple days before it came out, so I'd very much like to play it and let him know what's what. But yeah, like that. Yeah, that cammy player, unfortunately, like they sort of understand. They have a game plan. The problem is that it's kind of a bad one. Yeah. Music sounds great. I'll never show how wonderful the music is included. Yeah, we take those. Alright, hold on a second, y'all. Sorry, I gotta focus up just a little bit. Because Viper is a little bit trickier to deal with. And I'm giving a little bit too much respect. Oh, okay. That was actually pretty sick. I guess it was a high jump cancel. Okay. Yeah, this is like this Viper is doing the stuff with Viper that I knew I probably wouldn't be able to pull off. I'm like, wait a minute, how the hell did she get a cancel from like standing heavy kick into XYZ? Is like, oh right, because high jump cancel. I was like, he's like, oh yeah, I just can't probably. Uh, 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 uh. Ooh, yeah.
Round two. Fight.
Oh, whoa. Oof. Well, at least I didn't get. Ooh. At least I did not get hit with a drive impact on the, like, as like the counter hit, because that would have opened me up for a juggle, and that would have been bad. Yep. Spiral. Ooh. Even if that hadn't killed, the fact that I got to the corner push made it worth spending the meter. So yeah, Viper is as Viper always is, right? Very much, especially this Viper has very, very good management of the drive gauge. Ooh, yeah. They hadn't presented that, so I wasn't really thinking about it. Yeah, this Viper has very good management of their drive gauge, which has been something I've been worried about for, like, debated. But they got back more of the, Viper's like a very chef's kiss. Yeah. Like, this Viper is also very good at one of the things that is very critical to playing Viper, which is drive gauge management. So the high jump cancel thing I was talking about, for people who have not been here while I was doing my grind to master rank with Crimson Viper, Viper has the ability to cancel almost every single one of her normals into a high jump, which lets her get extra height, and also lets her get combos from things that aren't possible normally. But it takes up one block of the drive gauge every time you do that. So with Viper in particular, like, you really have to like have a really good understanding of like how to manage. You have to have a really good idea of how to manage your drive, because if you don't, then either attempting to use trying to be careful there, because there is a gap even when someone's burned out. The gap that they can use to might need to be careful about jumping, because it's a modern parry. Oh, messed up. But and then I tried to press the button. I got punished, which is a shame, but I messed up with the follow. In terms of picking something that hit. No, but they didn't. Yep. Well. Yep. Power charge. Back shoot. I respect it, but unfortunately, angle on Terry's Rising Fang, because it follows an angle similar to Rising Tackle, he moves forward a bit. So jumping over him in the specific way that I did, not that I knew it was coming, but jumping over him in the specific way that I did, kept it from actually managing to like pop me, which is unfortunate on his part. That was to try to jump out of the corner there. Yeah. I think that was to jump out of the corner. The reason why I didn't is because, again, modern, when you're fighting against like a modern Terry or any other modern character who happens to have like an anti-air move, it's not that you never jump against them, but you need to be very careful about when you do, because they do not have to do as much. They don't have to do a motion input to get an anti-air. They do have to commit to not being able to block, but they don't have to do like a full DP motion in order to get. Yeah, that's not safe at that distance. So you can jump against modern players, right? They don't have to be flexes to like respond to you doing the thing. Then it doesn't really matter. It doesn't really matter that they have it. That they have like the easier DP. It doesn't really matter if they don't have to do flexes for it. But like if they do, then jumping a lot is basically asking for a lot of trouble. See, like that. See, and like that, right? Easy ways for them to like bait you doing these things, and you get caught. Again, so it doesn't mean you never jump against a modern player. It just means you have to be like very deliberate about when you do, and you have to be very careful about how you sort of plan your approach. Woo! Made it. So yeah, fighting against modern players is stressful in that sense. They do eat a damage penalty for all of that convenience, so, you know, it's not like it's like, oh, you know, no downsides for using modern. The other thing about modern is that depending on the character, that was plus. Depending on the character, it is also, they may not have immediate access to all of the buttons like you would as a classic character, so that's kind of like the trade-off. basically, it's sort of, to use a car analogy, it is kind of like driving, using classic in Street Fighter 6 is like driving stick, it's like driving stick shift, and using modern is kind of like automatic transmission. It's not that one is inherently worse than the other, it's just that they each have like different methods of doing the same basic thing, which is driving a car, right? Ooh, good jump. Trying to jump again. I didn't land in time. I accidentally jumped. I didn't mean to jump there. But yeah, so if anything, I hope this proves that, like, for all that I was being really like snarky at the cammy that I fought previously who was using modern, it's not because they were using modern, right? It's explicitly because, like, even the strategy that the cammy was using, I could have used that strategy. Like, it's a strategy I could have used even if I wasn't like using, even if I was using, even though I was using classic. But again, right, the main issue is yeah, the thing that I was like basically giving them shit over was not using modern, but specifically that they were using its specific advantages, and even then, or more specifically, like they're very specific parts that are placed out that are essentially just gimmicks. And like, you cannot, as a cammy player, you cannot like, you can't live on gimmicks. It doesn't work. I think this should kill. Yeah, not a bad Jerry player, but very aggressive. Which Jerry does benefit from, to be clear. But like, you got to be careful about how aggressive you are. Okay. They're in the corner now. Yep. So. Oh. Yeah, right. Like that's why I was like, there's nothing wrong with like Jury being aggressive because like she benefits, right? It's just that like this Jury in particular was like going a little too hard, and that's the wrong spot to drive impact. Many of Jury's good poking buttons also happen to be cancelable, which means that like the drive impact against her, trying to DI her at like the wrong spots. It's very easy for you to kind of like just eat a ton of shit. A lot of her good poking buttons are. I should be dead here. A lot of her good poking buttons are cancelable into drive impact, so.
That felt good, didn't it?
Judy wins. Round one. Fight.
Strike!
That was good. That was a well-timed meaty projectile. Yeah, see? Like, a lot of the buttons that Jiri really gets a lot of mileage out of from Drive Rush are very good at setting her up for, like, are very good for setting her up for, like, counter DIs and stuff like that. So it's very... Jiri's a very difficult character to drive impact because, I don't have to worry about a super RP immediately, at least. Nice. Let's go. Yeah, I could have DI. I could have done the counter DI back if I'd been on top of it, but no, I'm cooked. But yeah, like if you remember why I was like, yeah, like Jiri being aggressive is not necessarily a bad thing. This is why I was saying that. They should have just held down the button. Why didn't they just hold down the button to force the kill? They probably didn't know that. Like that. Thank you for the lurk.
Now, find a new rival.
Beginning operation.
Time for a beatdown. Round one. Fight.
Oh hey, it's the Terry again. Thank you for the lurk, Kettle. Okay, so oh wow. That almost never happens. I'm impressed. Yeah, that was Terry standing heavy punch. Either of those hits is cancelable into drive impact. Yeah, like no, you're not gonna be able to get away with that. You're gonna have to burn meter to get out of this situation. It's plus. Yeah, it's my fault. I should have just kept the pressure going instead of because they hadn't presented that they were gonna. Well, they did use Buster Wolf, which has the inbuilt to get them out of that situation, but they waited until after I jumped. So you know, I respect it. Yep. Yeah, I could check the jab just to see what I was gonna do. Ooh, unfortunate. But then I didn't respond correctly. Yeah, they whiffed because they waited too long. Yeah, nah. Burned out and with absolutely no resources, just
No problem.
go at you. Done deal. Just gotta lock in. One time it would have made sense for me to do a backdash. So yeah. Got me walking back. Got me walking back. I'm not even upset. I just wasn't watching my toes. Burn. Yep. Ooh.
Right.
Round two. Fight.
Damn it, I keep messing up my light kick after the jab. Yeah, that's pluses. There we go. Yep. Yeah, I like doing that a lot. Not enough to kill. Yeah, there we go. Yeah. Yeah.
Cammy wins.
Ooh. Yeah, no, this Terry's solid. Hit it too early. So the reason why I was able to get a proper punish off of that after that OD rising tackle, because I did crouching heavy punch a little too early, before Terry had landed again. Yeah, good use of the quick burn there. I think this should kill. Yeah, I'm finally getting my sense back. I'm finally getting my sense back with Cammy. I haven't played her in a while, so yeah. Also, hi, Sabira. Yeah, I'm sort of beginning to get it back. The main thing that is going to be a problem that's going to keep me gated is that I really, really have to start working my anti-air options more. That's really what it comes down to.
Comes a new
Um,
challenger.
trying to adapt. Some of it is that like my adaptation sense is a little slow. And that's one of the things that I would like to try to improve, at least in some little way. Namely, like picking up specifically on when my opponents like to do certain things. I don't expect to be able to like snipe somebody out of the air with a jump in, like a DP every time they jump at me, but I would like to be able to like at least present the threat that I'm going to like snipe you if you're doing stuff. Ooh, yeah. Yeah, that's safe. I could have gotten a punish on that. There we go, on the Dragon Lash. Basically, like, and using Dragon Lash incorrectly is very similar to catching a cammy doing a spin knuckle at the wrong time, basically. They have very similar profiles. Nah, I'm good.
Round two. Fight.
I'm trying to be careful about how much I jump because I know I have a habit of like when I'm not sure about how I want to approach, I just jump. Nope, couldn't have done that. So basically, the main thing with Ken that as always I have a hard time dealing with is that so Ken, when he does that kick that y'all hear is like Tia, that one, that like spinning snap kick. He has a couple of different follow-ups to it. And if he uses like the shin kick off of the medium version of that roundhouse kick, that roundhouse like snap kick that he does, like that bit there, like Tia hoop, that is drive impact safe because he's using the medium version of his Jinrai kick into Senka snap is what it's called. So when he uses the Senka, or whatever, it's something or other shin kick. Basically, when he does the Tia into that, you can see he can also just like not do anything afterward. And that is also a form of like baiting a follow-up of some sort. That was excessive. I mean, it gets him to kill, but it's the first round and you already burned super. You gotta spend meter to make me. This is true. Right? And, you know, upper round is upper round. But, at this particular juncture, I do not know if I agree with that. Fair. There. All right, that worked out for them. So, like, to be clear, right, and to be clear, it's also one of those things where it's like, well, I was like, I wouldn't have done that. The psychological pressure is also an undeniable advantage, right? in terms of like, oh yeah, I'm gonna burn Super Art 3 in the first round to secure the kill, right? Which I respect. In this case, it worked out, right? Sometimes it's a gamble that does not work out against more experienced players who kind of like keep, sort of like keep their, kind of like keep it together, so to speak. That doesn't always work. Yeah. Yep. Toxic Blossom. No follow. Oh yeah, they're confident. I got hit by at least 3 Toxic Blossoms in that entire combo. Yeah. There we go. I gotta hold that. It's okay.
Round 2. Fight.
Yeah, I have to remember that if I get forced to. I might be dead. They don't chop it. Yeah, that was tight. If there'd been any of a misreading of the spacing during those jabs, this would have dropped. But they did. They spaced it very well. They did a very good job of like not dropping. Very good job confirming for the max damage. Very good. Out. Basically, the moment I got pop blocking, it was kind of a done deal as far as like my ability to stay alive. Especially in that situation, I was burned with burnout. Especially, the main thing I was trying to avoid doing was I was trying to avoid getting caught out so that. Ooh, good parry. I got the crouching light kick, but I didn't follow correctly. So basically, like in that situation, right? I don't know if I could have done like that. And the only reason why I say I don't know if I could have done that is because I don't. It does combo, but the main thing is that, like, at the spacing I was at, I don't know if I could have caught a standing light kick after the jab in order to keep it going to confirm.
Beginning operation.
It's everybody's favorite Glass Cannon. Alright. I didn't even talk about my favorite part of the state of play. Which is that we are getting a new Castlevania game. Very specifically, a Femme Belmont, which has happened before, but this is, at least in terms of a game that didn't get canceled, this is the first time that we have had a playable Femme Belmont in a Castlevania game since Castlevania Legends, the first one. And that game was removed from canon by Koji Igarashi while he was still working at Konami when Castlevania Lament of Innocence was released, because it what's the word I'm looking for? I back and now Akuma gets the Akuma offense things. Yeah, Lament of Innocence, when it was released, basically essentially invalidated the events of it invalidated the events of Castlevania Legends, which removed Sonia Belmont from canon when Ego was like, yeah, no, Lament of Innocence is the origin of the Belmont family. Castlevania Legends takes place in like an alternate continuity or some shit. So, and then the only other game that had Sonia Belmont in it, or was planned to, was a Castlevania game for the Dreamcast, and that got canceled. So, a lot of the scuttlebutt online since the trailer dropped has been that a lot of the scuttlebutt online has been that, like, oh yeah, this is probably going to recanonize Sonia Belmont as, because so, like, to be very explicit, right? Insofar as like what Konami themselves have said, they have only confirmed on the official website that the protagonist of Belmont's Curse, which is the new Castlevania game that's going to be coming out this year, the only thing that they've confirmed via the official website is that, well, a couple of things they've confirmed. It is after Castlevania 3, because the Belmont that we're playing as is Stepper Belmont's successor, and obviously she's a woman. Those are the only things that we know right now. So it is, like I said, it commonly believed that it is possibly so it's not like a hard confirm. But given that what we've seen of the playable character for the new Castlevania game, her physical profile and the general way that her physical profile and the fact that she has a braid and her color scheme are all very close matches to official concept art of Sonya Belmont. So, like, the running theory is that basically Trevor is going to be that rather than Sonya being Trevor's mother, the way that she was in Castlevania Legends, or at least that was implied to be, that probably if this person that we're playing as in the new Castlevania is like a recanonized version of Sonya, either Trevor's daughter or by the looks of it, granddaughter, given how old he looks in that. I never actually said hi because I've been doing things all the time and I'm tired. Excellent.
Beginning operation.
All good, cuz. Y'all are doing the thing that you need to do. It is what it is. It is good to see you though. So yeah, I'm very excited about that because basically speaking, the main thing in particular about I also can't really drive impact as much during this fight because Marisa has charged Gladius, and charged Gladius, if you attempt to drive impact that, the thing that happens is that you eat 10 pounds of shit because charged Gladius will break right through. Maybe medium hooligan there might have been high enough to avoid getting clipped by that, but no guarantees. Yeah, see, like you can't drive impact against fully charged Gladius. It just doesn't work. Like you get your shit pushed in. I should be dead here. They didn't, but they dropped. Like, if they hadn't dropped that OD Gladius as part of that combo, they would have gone into SA3 and be so crude, my nuts would have been cracked. If you'll forgive me for being so crude. Literally, I just would have died on the spot. Marisa does a lot of damage. And the thing that she really excels at by use of Gladius is, particularly like Gladius and a lot of her other normals, she sort of just excels at like wearing down your drive gauge. Nope, I messed up the punish. Uh-huh. Ooh. Oh boy. Yeah. And like basically, right, if she hits you with the OD 1-2 like that, you get set up for all kinds of just really painful shit. Marisa is very scary. Oh yeah, that's the thing I already know about. I don't want to think about that right now because it'll just make me tired.
A new warrior has entered the ring.
Nowhere to run.
Round one. Fight.
gonna. Okay, so that's not. It's not actually plus on. I could have done Super Art 2 there to kill, but I forgot that they changed Super Art input to not. Well, now that I remember that they didn't change the motion, only the button, I will probably not forget it. Though, like, Cammy Super Art 2 is so rarely used that I don't use it nearly as much as I could. Forces it back, and he they didn't want to risk any possibility that, like, if they were willing to gamble on, like, being able to, like, kind of crush me out in the corner, they didn't want to gamble on that. Nope, shouldn't have done that, but they didn't punish it. So yeah, again, I talked about this previously, but I think that's very important to note. At this level of gameplay, it is not always a bad idea, but it is generally not a good idea to try to drive impact somebody when they're burned out in the corner, because usually, unless you kind of like really stress them out, they will usually respond by jumping as not to like get caught out. Yeah, I tried to jump when I saw the drive rush coming, but too close. So there is a period of time when somebody initiates a drive rush where, you know, inputs are frozen for a little bit. So like, hey Lynn. Yeah, unfortunately, you cannot space Jury's dive kick to make it save. Not really. It is very difficult to put yourself in a position with Jury's dive kick where somebody cannot punish you. I don't think it is impossible, but it is very, very difficult. Well, we're both loaded for bear now, so Eh. I should be dead here. I choked a little. So, the thing I was really scared of was that they were willing to let rip with the super art on Wake Up, but they had not presented that option at all, and I should have chosen to not be afraid of it. I should have chosen to be an ignorant dickhead until or unless they demonstrated they were going to do the thing. That is basically kind of like... That is, unfortunately, like, the main thing that will... That's one of the things they don't tell you about fighting games early on, which is that, like, sometimes, right, it is not wrong to play, like, super defensively. There's some characters who benefit from that, and there are ways to, like, you know, hedge your bets even when you're being really aggressive. There are ways to sort of, like, hedge your bets while also pushing an offense that do work to your advantage. But this is one of those things where if someone is not presenting an option to counter you, you should operate as if they're not going to use it until they do. Because what happens is that if they're not presenting like, oh yeah, I'm anti-airing you consistently, or at least that I can anti-air you in this situation, or what have you, if you inadvertently put on yourself like the limit or the assumption that they're going to do a certain thing and you don't, and that fear kind of like dictates how you respond, you wind up losing your momentum very quickly. Especially if you have like enough life that you can eat like a wake up DP or two, right? Like being really obnoxious with your wake up pressure, you don't lose anything from that. Might be dead. I might be low enough up this. Yeah, this kills. I'm dead. Nah, it's done. Pack it up.
That felt good, didn't it?
Judy wins. Now, find a new rival.
Beginning operation.
This will be a good fight. Round one. Fight.
You sure you? No. See, that's what I mean, right? You know how I was like, oh, Odie Shoryu? And then I backed off thinking that it might come, and it didn't come? Right? Like, this is sort of what I was alluding to before, when I was like, until somebody presents that they're going to do the thing, like, move as if they're not going to do it. Like, you just gotta move as if they're not going to do it, because if you think too hard about the fact that they will, they don't present that they're willing to, then you lose the opportunity to like test your offense, right? And again, there are ways to like hedge your bets effectively so that you're not like trying to like stick your hand in the garbage disposal. But like if they're not demonstrating that they're willing to like earn the resource that they need to keep you off of them, then just blow their shit up. Like just do it, right? Don't overthink it. If you have, especially if it's like very early on in the match and you've got enough health to eat like a reversal DP or two, there's nothing wrong with like just actively pushing your offense if you think you can get away with it, right? And that's at least my personal philosophy with fighting games, right? And you can operate some form of that with every character in a fighting game. There's always a way to do something like that.
Let's go. Ring the bell.
No mercy for you.
Round one. Fight.
A lot of mid players like to do that. I got kind of lucky there. If I had pressed a slightly longer button in terms of like startup, I would have gotten hit by that super R1. But now I have data, right? That like if I press this Ed enough, they absolutely will like do the thing, right? But probably not unless I push them. Yep. Ooh. I was tempted to DI there, but yeah, good. They kept up. Alright. Yeah, so they're willing to... Yep. Well, I'm definitely at a drive. I'm definitely at a health and at a slight drive. Slight. Nope, not slight. Much heavier than I thought. Drive deficit. Not ideal. Yeah. Alright. And now it's my fault for kind of like ignoring a couple of those tells. So they're like, yeah, I'm absolutely going to keep doing this thing, right? And that's on me, right? In that specific situation, if I had been a little bit less careless with like choosing to keep pressing anyway, I would have been able to probably bait at least one or two of those ODDPs. That's my fault for not adapting. So what I did there is the opposite issue, right? Where it's like, okay, once somebody is demonstrated willing to do the thing, you have to then be more willing to play a little bit more carefully in order to catch them doing it, right? Unfortunate that he tried to grab at that particular spacing. Didn't quite work out. That's fair. Mm-hmm. One drink. If I was willing to gamble a Super Art 3, I could have gotten a kill there, but I wasn't feeling confident, so I didn't do it. Yeah. Dead. Yeah, basically what happened there is that, because I was in Burnout, any special move or super move that does enough chip would have killed me. And so Jamie did that. He did the first hit of his Rekka, his 3-hit punch combo, and then canceled into his Super R3, and that was enough.
Round 2. Fight.
So, one drink. Two drinks, so he's up to normal damage. So, in that particular case, Jamie, because you saw how he was able to walk in before I got up, that means that he definitely had a knockdown that was long enough to punish me for doing some shit I shouldn't have been doing. No. Three drinks. No, you don't get to do that. Nope. I messed up so many punishes there. Sad. That's my fault. $9.39. Yeah, I could go. I'll go for like 2 hours. So after what's it called? After the second ad break, we'll call it probably.
one. Fight.
Yeah, if that third attack had come out in time, that would have broken Drive Impact. But unfortunately, yeah, they caught me. I didn't empty jump in, but I was still coming down, so they caught me. I'm not dead. It's gonna hurt. Off of jabs, it's not a big deal. It's gonna hurt.
That felt good.
Not ideal because I'm basically in the room now, but
You're in my way.
if I had stepped back a little, I was trying to basically set my Oki way too close, and I was in grab range. Too high up. Luckily, blocking that fireball kept me in block stun. It kept the throw from hitting, and kept the throw from potentially hitting me. Strike, bro.
Round two. Fight.
And I gotta be careful with jumps. Nope. Probably to get drive back and to keep me in the corner and do damage, but I still have, if nothing else, still the life advantage. So if, it is still scary to be in the corner against Jury, but by virtue of the fact that I didn't panic and press a button like a doofus, I pressed a button like a genius instead. Hey there, I was trying to raid you, but what were you saying? They should not be turned off. Not that I can think of. So welcome on in. Hopefully you're having a good day. I'll double check them afterward, but I don't think I have my raid. I don't think I have raids turned off. I should anyway, unless they're like limited to people I follow, in which case I need to. But, oops, I messed up the input. Yeah, I was not in a position where I could keep pushing that safely. Oh well. That game's going. Start done with anxious. Game going. I'm doing alright. I have basically been. I've been basically fluctuating even since the previous ranked season. Basically, I've been hovering roughly around this spot. I might be dead. Yeah, I'm up here. So the games are going alright, all things considered. Yeah, it's still a little rough. Because basically, I'm in the same spot that I have been in since for a while, where my main kind of stagnation point is just that I cannot anti-air worth a damn consistently. And I have a difficult time actively responding to people jumping in at me, and it's a consistent issue that I've had, and that's the thing that probably keeps bouncing me down as far as like active things that I can improve on in the most immediate sense. Like being able to like actively anti-air people is something I'd like to be able to do better. It won't solve every kind of like sticking point I have more generally, but it'll help with most of the most immediate ones that I have. But for once, Blanca is not acting as my my mental tenno for once, which is nice. How better this is? Excuse me, take a nosedive. Yeah. In my case, I haven't been playing cammy for a while, so a lot of what I've been trying to do is just been like trying to work on getting like my sense back with her. There we go. I'm so happy that I freestyled that, didn't drop it at all. So when it comes to like the combo theory that I need, I have most of it. I don't know a lot of like the new tricks, admittedly, that I know people have been working on. Yeah, I started playing the game with Cammy and Jury. Primarily. I was a my player for a while after she came out, just because I was like, let me just try her to see what's what. And then I'm like, oh god, she's really good. But I wasn't intending on sticking with her. I sort of have a Terry, but not really. Realistically, if you're like, what is your best character? Cammy and Elena are probably the two that I actually am best with. I have Master Rank with both of them. Though I also have Master Rank with like Viper. but that was just more so just kind of like feel her out and to see if she's the kind of character I would want to take further. And I like Viper, but I don't have the execution to actually really keep up with what she's doing and the things that ideally she would like to do. I can't keep up with her. So right now, just cammy, kind of like to get some feeling back in terms of like the kind of stuff she does. Ah, damn it! I didn't manage to get the VI in time. Am I burned out? Maybe. Probably. Feels like it should be. No, just barely not. Okay. Ah, short ball. Good pick. I feel like she's honestly. Yeah, she's the first character I got to Master Rank, and I've been a cammy player in any Street Fighter game that cammy is in. I have played her at some point in that game, if I played that game. So like I was a cammy player in Street Fighter 5 for most of it, and then picked up Akira eventually. I did play Jerry for a while, and Karin as well, but like in that game, especially like near the end of its life cycle, I was playing a lot more Akira. Yeah, that's fair. Ah, that was a short ball. I got thrown, but I didn't get. The important thing is that I didn't get like punish count, because that would have been much worse. Whew, there we go. Kept on top of it. Bonkies. Yeah. With Rainbow Ball, the main thing is that the main reason why I usually don't usually try to like Rainbow Ball is because usually like that steering, like you saw that, right? Like most Blanca players who are using it at this level tend to have a pretty good sense of like how to steer it, so it becomes they steer it really well, and so it becomes a thing where it's like if I see it coming, that's one thing, but like with the way that most of them steer it, especially in like Master Rank, it's not something I like to take my bets against very often. Yeah. Like in that case, yeah, it worked out. But like it's also just as often that they'll do like a shallow one, and it's like, well, oops, I messed up and I did the wrong heavy punch. Yep. I can't quite say that I knew for sure it was coming. I just had a gut feeling that slide was next. I guessed. That was a guess. I'm going to be straight up about that. That was a guess. I was just like, it feels like this is the range at which this bastard wants to hit me with the slide. So I'm just gonna wiggle around a little bit and then block low and see what happens. And I was correct, and I will take that. So yeah, probably I could have done a couple more. I probably could have anti-aired some more of the rainbow balls like you pointed out, It's just that because of the way that they were steering it, I wasn't feeling confident in my ability to do it and like not get fucking clowned on. Yeah, alright, there's the OD. I need to be careful. Like trying to go bar for bar with Ryu is not a good idea. No. Ooh, that was close. Yeah. I forgot that like trying to go bar for bar with a Ryu is like a really bad idea. And that's the thing about Ryu also, is that like, especially when he starts getting really aggressive at you, you start getting tempted to like also do that. But most characters in this game going like trying to go pound for pound with Ryu in terms of like trying to slug it out with him, especially if you fight a Ryu that's in the mood for that, not a good idea. Woo! There we go. Cooking now. So yeah, like generally speaking, yeah, it's especially like if a Ryu understands how to do the solar plexus stuff, then it's really rough for you as like the defender. Like basically your answer, especially if it's not like drive rush solar plexus, is you basically have to put yourself in the position to be able to finish Shinku. Yes. There we go. Yeah, like drive rush solar plexus. I think you can still drive impact that, but most other solar plexus setups will kind of just like fuck your shit in the best circumstance. I managed to get the right spacing for that to actually work. Shinku? Nope. Yeah, ba. Show you. Alright. That too. Ooh. Yeah. Not bad at all. So yeah, like basically largely my main thing is about like making sure that I, as far as like my weaknesses as a player, right, mostly boil down to I have a hard time anti-airing, and sometimes if somebody's really good at stonewalling me and I'm not like on point, then what winds up happening is that I start getting like really impatient and I start like jumping and doing all sorts of other stuff because I'm too used. Sometimes like the Guilty Gear player in me comes out, it's like, all right, I'll just jump and like do other shit and it'll be fine. And like that doesn't always work to your advantage here. Ooh, damn, if I'd just been a little more patient. Nope. No, I should have done heavy. Almighty, am I dead? Yes. Sometimes I forget how much damage ODSPD does. ODSPD does not. I am, yeah. Tale as old as time. Oops. Did the wrong setup there. Yeah, this Geef is wilding out a little bit.
You're in my way.
So the main reason why I was kind of just like letting them wild out a little is because I don't know their critical art threshold mentally. Like, when are they going to feel pressed enough to like roll up with the Geef critical art? Because like understanding what kind of Zangief you're dealing with when it comes to that is very important.
You're in my way.
It's not going to kill. This is not going to kill, but it is going to give me time to recover my drive gauge and the reason why I did the dash there rather than doing like a spiral arrow, I was not sure if the Geef would react with I was not sure if the Geef was going to react with critical art, and I didn't want to risk getting scooped because I wouldn't have died because I had a shit ton of health. It would have been fine. I would have lost like a good 40 to 50% of my health. That would have been bad, really bad. And I was just like, I don't want to take that chance because Zangief has come back from worse. Yeah, fair. See what I mean? Like when I sometimes get impatient and I do dipshit things that I shouldn't be doing. Oh yeah, good throw. Nice, Stubby. Alright, still. Ooh, yeah, good answer. Yeah, it's plus. Yeah, I've been presenting that too often, so it doesn't surprise me to take advantage of that. Whew. I nearly gave that up. I nearly choked so hard right there. That could have gone so much worse. I nearly choked so bad. Welcome back from ads, everybody. TLDR, this cammy mirror has been pretty sweaty. I nearly choked and gave up the round. Good throw. Yeah, this cammy basically has been studying a lot more of the stuff that I never bothered to recently. So, If I'd been willing, I wasn't willing to push. I should have been willing to do what would have potentially been the slightly more dangerous thing, and like actually go for the burnout loop. Sometimes I tend to avoid it because I keep thinking that I usually wind up avoiding the burnout loop because I usually wind up thinking that like people know what the answer to it is, because it's not new tech. Like at this point, it is very well known. But I should be more willing to trust that just because it's known. Yeah, like that's the thing to worry about. If somebody is really good, they're super out of it. If somebody is just like, I know what the correct answer is, but I don't want to risk getting like absolutely fucked up, I'll jump and just eat part of it so that I can like recover in time and blow you up afterward. That's got me. We win next. Yeah. The first part of the set. Yeah, I got it. Ooh. Mixing in the throw and the burnout loop tends to work really well. Yeah. I have to work on that too. That's a good one. Because like mostly the trick is with the burnout loop in particular, the spot where they can so the burnout loop for cammy, right, is after like usually you do like jab into standing heavy punch into spin knuckle. All of the spin knuckles are plus if they hit, but the gap is between, there's still a gap in between like the standing light punch and the standing heavy punch, as well as the heavy punch into the spin knuckle. That gap is a little bit tighter depending on the situation, but oops. But that is a good point. Back in the corner with you. Again, right? Like, unless they presented the ODDP, no reason for me to, like, stop pressing, right? And that's the part that I'm also trying to, like, remind myself of. That if somebody does not present that they're willing to, like, burn meter to push me off, I should kind of just move as if they're not going to. Good Shoryu. Wrong setup for the solar plexus, though. Alright, there we go. Now we can start. Now I gotta start. I need to start. Now I need to start baiting ODDP on Wake Up. It's plus. Go. Go. Yeah. So, setting up the solar plexus in that situation, they got the timing right that time. If you fuck up your timing on a solar plexus setup for meaty as Ryu, you don't have a good time. Solar plexus itself is still incredibly plus if it's blocked, but it dies very, very hard to oh! Ah, what a call out. Are we gonna get anything into Shin? Yeah. Recovers drive. I'm at the drive disadvantage and probably the health disadvantage. Okay, they didn't throw Hadouken. If they throw a Hadouken, my plan was to nope, I should be dead here. I pushed my luck a little bit. I thought I'd pushed them back far enough that the spiral arrow would have hit and been safe, but nope, didn't pull it off. Yep, Hadouken. Unfortunate. Gotta be careful about how far back I'm walking. Fast. Yeah. The other thing I have been working on is like trying to get that back in. I spent a lot of time while playing Elena sort of learning the fine art of like, oh right, I need to like watch for when people want to walk back and just like tag them with a low, and I've somewhat forgotten that. Ooh, yeah, baited. I was baited super hard there. You saw that step back before I did the spin knuckle? It's to force it to whiff. So... Alright. Remember what I said, right? Like, trying to go bar for bar with Ryu, generally not a thing that you should do. It's not usually a good idea. I respect the vision, but no. You swung a little too hard there, but... yeah, trying to go bar for bar with Ryu as most characters is generally a terrible idea because Ryu just, like, he shits damage, right? So if you... It's not that this doesn't mean you can't, like, aggress at him, but if you are not careful about how you approach it, you're going to try to outpunch him, and he will just fuck you up. You shouldn't do it. I didn't rise. If I had risen with a jumping like kick a little faster, I might have been able to check him there. Okay, one more. Because I said after ads we were going to be finished. But I kind of want one more. I'm a little sad that I wasn't able to keep my streak going, but so it goes. But yeah, trying to go like pound for pound with as against Ryu as most characters is a really, really terrible idea. You shouldn't do it.
Let us begin. Round one.
Ooh. Yeah, you see there, like, that, me jumping at that particular point. Like, when I get impatient on the ground, sometimes I like to jump and make something happen, and I really should stop doing that. Because for most people, like, they will catch me jumping at that point, usually. And I know that, and it's something I've been having trouble trying to stop. Like, the main thing is most of it I have to stay relatively confident in my ground approach and be more willing to, like, press buttons like standing medium kick, standing heavy kick when I have the correct spacing as approach tools instead of, like, always wanting to jump soft. Oh! Yeah, it's fair. Yeah, jumping isn't too bad if they don't react to the anti-air. Yeah, usually in my case what happens is that I press my luck with it too much, and most people who have the reflexes will catch very quickly, and then I get stuck. Yeah, and there I was mashing jab. Fuck! I messed up the input. Because basically after the launch into OD dive kick, Super Art 3, done deal. You should have been dead. I dropped it. I dropped the import. This guy doesn't ever use block trick. Yeah, sort of. I have some idea of how they work, but not enough to like operate. Not enough to operate them from a position of. Not enough to operate them from a position where they don't have meat. Essentially, is sort of like the main thing. Like they've got the punishes, but they. Yeah, Denjin. Yeah. Yeah, that was a good time to pop Denjin, if any. Because they hadn't presented Super Art 1 at all at the thing that they were doing, so I didn't catch it. Yeah, fair. No, Ken. Yeah. Thank you. Like, that's the kind of, like... I don't expect to always be able to DP like that, but I would like to be able to do it more frequently. We do, in fact, take those. Yep, Tatsu, Shoryu. Yep, I tried to press a button there, and I did not have the... And I didn't have the advantage for that. No, that doesn't work. Fuck! I know, I messed up. Sometimes I forget that this isn't Street Fighter V, where you can do standing medium punch, couching medium punch, with cammy. So, very rarely, like, my old muscle memory will fuck me up, and that happens. Yeah, he caught me walking back. And even be upset at him about that, that's my fault. Yeah, fair. Yeah. After the couching medium punch, I should have just pushed Drive Rush and kept going. This counter hit, but I didn't. DC combo for enough. Yeah, maybe there is. That's the other thing. Like, I also have not put a lot of, like, focus on combo optimization just because I feel like I have other things I need to worry about first. So a lot of the time, whenever I managed, okay, one, I don't want to leave on my cross. It feels tense. The main thing I usually focus on, at least as far as my gameplay, is that I'm willing to trade optimal damage for what I generally feel is better positional control most of the time. I don't have all of a good sense of like positional stuff.
Show me what you have. No mercy for you.
Yeah. Pretty good space of how to space. Pretty good sense of how to space. There we go. So yeah, like that kind of stuff. You sort of see in my play that I prefer, even if it means I lose a little bit of damage, I try to more so make the plays that kind of keep me in the right position to respond in certain ways. Like, I like being close to be able to, like, expert Oki. And I'm willing to, like, trade something that's optimal for being able to, like, keep pressing for Oki. Not gonna lie. I probably should have just done a back roll better than to the corner. Nope. Oops, I dropped the super. Yeah, see? Like, the jump there is usually to try to, like, avoid getting hit by some aspect of that. Yeah. I'll go out on a 1348. I'll take that. It's been better performance than I've been doing recently. Like, I believe last phase I ended sub 1300. And even then, right? Yeah, that's on me. Mostly, though, I mostly only bring up the number is mostly by virtue of the fact that it's not so much that it's like, oh, yeah, like, man, if I don't get into X rank, then I'm absolute ass trash, right? Like, it's not like that. But more so that, like, I keep it more as a rough, direct record of this is about where I left off, this is about where I am. It is less so a direct measurement of my skill and just like where all everything is. Yeah. So yeah, I'm not stressed about it overall, right? Like, my main thing is mostly that, like, I sort of look at the range to sort of give me an idea of about how sharp am I with this character at present, right? Like, I don't do a lot of, like, extreme stats tracking because that kind of shit winds up, like, really getting in my head. But, like, I would say that I've derusted my cammy enough that if I maintain like somewhere between 1300 to 1400, I'm okay with that, right? But you know, that's me. So, that said, though, we are done for the day. Let me see who we can go hang out with that we haven't gone to hang out with recently. So recently you've gone to MD, J-Rock, Prez, and now I can't see how much farther. GG's, man, thank you for streaming. Thank you for coming by. If you are interested specifically in just fighting game streams, I usually do those on Fridays from 6 to 9 p.m. Eastern time is usually then. I also stream on Sundays, but usually I'm playing like a long form game, like an RPG, or sometimes if I need a break from an RPG, I'll be doing an action game or a platformer for a couple of weeks. We do have an RPG that I want to try to finish this Sunday, Lost Kingdoms 2, which has kind of been beating my ass, but the plan is to get in there and give it a whirl. If we finish early on Sunday, there's this game that came out called Relooted. If I do not play some of it by myself, I may play it on Sunday if we finish Lost Kingdoms 2 early, or I may just call stream early and go like fuck off and go do other stuff that I normally do. For other links to follow me, if that's your thing, here are a couple. Mostly these days, I am active on. If you go to my card, my Black Sky is over there. That is usually where I'm active most often. I want to get back to blogging at some point, but I need to get up off of NeoCities for that. Not because NeoCities is bad, but because trying to maintain a blog setup in that particular formulation is a pain, and I do not enjoy it. So yeah, we'll see what comes after Lost Kingdoms 2. I'm not planning on starting the next game. The next game that I have planned after Lost Kingdoms 2 is Custom Robo for the GameCube. So that will come when it comes. Oh right, I forgot to talk about the other stuff. Also, I am a co-founder of a worker-owned video game studio called Munity. If you want to know more about us and what we do, go over to munity.games. We have a Patreon and an itch page. The main website and our itch page have links to our Discord, where we release bi-weekly Discord exclusive betas of the game that we're making, Shoot Lantern. So if you wanna check that out, by all means do. And then last but not least, if you want to just hang out with us when we're not doing stream stuff, you can join us on Discord. We watch anime and tokusatsu and things like that on Saturdays, and otherwise kind of just chill and occasionally get into like other game design stuff and things like that. So yeah, that's pretty much it. We are going to go hang out with, let me see whomst. Oh right, the thing that it says about the Discord, when I say sometime, I usually mean that like me or Mod has to like directly vet you, but usually when you join, maybe within like a day and a half, we usually get you. So let me see here. You know, I don't think we've been. We may have been to see Prez recently-ish, but I don't know. Hang on, I need to stop following Team Spooky. Why am I still following Team Spooky? Ew. Ew. Brother, ew. You know who we're gonna go see? Who I haven't seen in a while? Hold on a second. Let me fix that and then. I feel like we've been by Prez recently, but we have not been by Data Dave in a while. So we're gonna go hang out with Data Dave. He is a variety streamer and voice actor, and just generally pretty cool. Currently, he is playing some Marvel Rivals. So we're gonna go hang out with him for a bit and see what he's getting up to. Looks like he's out playing some Rogue in her wedding dress outfit. So let's go see how that is. Thank y'all for coming by. Here's our raid message for Dave. Make sure that I get his name correct. Yes. SJH just raids. The raid message. Let him know who sent you. Throw in your favorite emotes in chat. All that other stuff. Thank y'all for coming by. I'll catch up with y'all. I'll catch up with y'all whenever that happens to be. Um, Thank y'all for coming by, and I appreciate you. Take care, stay safe, wash your hands, wear a mask if you go outside, be excellent to each other, but not to bigots, racist, sexist, anti-queer folks, or fascists. Remember, Black Lives Matter, trans rights are human rights, and so are reproductive rights. Palestine, Sudan, the Congo, and Haiti must all be free, as well as New Caledonia. None of us are free till we're all free. Be excellent. Like I said, be excellent to each other. Take care of each other the way that you can. Sometimes, if that means that you just gotta keep your head down and move in silence, that also works too. Anyway, thank y'all. Let's go have fun with Dave. I'll catch y'all later. Deuces.